About to go it alone on climate change. That, according to this morning's New York Times. It says the administration is working on a proposal to try and forge a sweeping international climate change agreement, compelling other nations to cut their carbon pollution, all without congressional approval. So what does this mean? Chris Tharwat is a Fox News digital political editor and joins us, as he does frequently at this time. So, Chris, is the president saying, Congress, what Congress? I don't need no stinking Congress. What is going on?
Well, they say that basically it's this. The United States will voluntarily, under this thesis, the United States would voluntarily crack down further on industry here to comply with new increased global warming standards. And then that would, through a process that the article refers to as naming and shaming, identify other countries like, I don't know, Russia and China that don't comply with these new regulations. It is phony baloney. It is unenforceable, voluntary, can't happen. What it represents, though, is a president who lists this as one of his most important issues. At times, it sounds like the most important issue. He has talked about this. John Kerry has compared it to terrorism, said it perhaps is the world's greatest weapon of mass destruction. It's been their priority. But they are afraid, obviously, to take on Senate Democrats who have pushed back and said, do not bring us a treaty. We are not interested in having painful votes in the election year. So they're going to do something that is less than something, but will create some optics, will look good for a president who is trying to build a legacy on this issue.
Well, you know, as you mentioned politics, you got West Virginia in play, coal country, for example. At the same time, you're right. Look at China and India. Vast more carbon output than we have. Can they be named and shamed into changing their behavior?
You know, maybe the president will challenge Vladimir Putin to a ice bucket challenge. I don't know. The shaming. I don't. People who invade people are unlikely, it would seem, to be shamed by a list of climate non-compliance. So it's hokum. But as you say, you know, West Virginia may not really be looking good for Democrats, but there are races where Democrats are in contention in states where this is a deadly issue. Terry Lynn Land in Michigan, the Republican there, is already talking about gas taxes. That's the kind of Democratic state where the last thing that Democrats want to be talking about is a further crackdown on industry. Kentucky, this is probably the best news for Mitch McConnell in his efforts to hold on to his seat that he's had in weeks. And it goes on and on through the list of where these Democrats are that are trying to hold on or win. These are red states or blue states that have serious reliance on cheap electricity through coal and other things like that, or the automotive industry. This is just a bad play for the Democrats domestically, politically.
All right, we'll see what the reaction is if and when he does it. Chris Tharwat, thanks as always.
You bet.